The medical bay of the Covenant's Edge hummed with the sterile efficiency of a warship in transit. Corporal Jack Arden lay on the examination table, wincing as Dr. Ellen Rowe worked on the plasma burn that snaked across his ribs. Her fingers, long, elegant, and tipped with the faint bioluminescence characteristic of her species, moved with practiced precision. "Hold still," she murmured, her voice carrying that musical quality that marked all Veltran speech. Her eyes, large and opalescent, reflected the soft blue light of the med scanner above them. Jack had been assigned to the multi-species frigate for 6 months now, and in that time, he'd grown accustomed to working alongside aliens. The Veltran were relatively new to the Galactic Coalition, having joined only a decade prior. Dr. Rowe was one of the first of her kind to serve in a medical capacity aboard human-majority vessels. "You know," Jack said, trying to distract himself from the sting of regenerative gel, "where I come from, when someone takes care of you this devotedly, there's usually a ring involved." Her hands paused, those luminous eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made his breath catch. "A ring?" she asked softly. "Yeah, you know, marriage. Till death do us part, for better or worse, all that romantic stuff." He grinned, trying to keep the mood light. "The way you fuss over every scratch I get, I guess that makes us married." The silence that followed was absolute. Dr. Rowe's bioluminescence flared brighter, cascading down her arms in waves of coral and amber. Her expression, usually so carefully neutral, transformed into something Jack couldn't quite read. Wonder? Shock? Fear? "Jack Arden," she whispered, her voice trembling with an emotion he'd never heard from her before. She leaned closer, her breath warm against his ear. "You're mine now." The way she said it, with such certainty, such finality, sent a chill down his spine. Doc? That was a joke. I didn't mean..." But she'd already stepped back, her posture rigid. The soft glow of her skin had shifted to a deep, pulsing crimson. "You have spoken the words, in the presence of a witness." She gestured to the monitoring VI in the corner, its lens light blinking steadily. "It is done." Jack sat up, ignoring the protest from his half-healed ribs. "Wait, what's done?" "I was kidding around." Dr. Rowe's expression hardened, though her luminescence betrayed a swirl of emotions. Excitement, possessiveness, and something that looked disturbingly like triumph. "Among my people, such declarations are not made lightly. You acknowledged my care. You invoked the bond of partnership unto death. You named it before witnesses." She moved closer again, and Jack found himself unable to look away from those mesmerizing eyes. "By every law of my world, we are now Kelethmar, soulbound." "Soulbound?" Jack's voice cracked slightly. "Doc, I mean, humans joke about this stuff all the time. We don't actually mean, but you are not speaking to a human." Her hand reached out, fingertips brushing his jaw with unexpected gentleness. "The Veltran do not jest about bonds. When you spoke those words, when you acknowledged my devotion and named what exists between us, you made a vow." Jack's mind raced. He'd read the cultural briefings, but they'd been hundreds of pages long, covering dozens of species. Had he missed something this important? There has to be a way to undo this. Some kind of annulment, or... The crimson in her skin flashed to a dark, stormy purple. "You wish to reject the bond?" Her voice was dangerously quiet. "To deny what you yourself proclaimed?"
"No, I mean yes."
Jack ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. "I just don't want to trap you in something you didn't choose." Dr. Rowe tilted her head, genuine confusion rippling across her features in shades of blue. "You believe you trapped me?" "Well, yeah. I made this stupid joke, and now you think we're married because of some cultural misunderstanding." She laughed. The sound was like crystal bells, bright and startling. "Oh, Jack Arden, you truly do not understand." She moved closer still until they were sharing the same breath. "I have been courting you in the Veltran way for 3 of your months. Every extra scan I performed, every late shift I took to monitor your recovery, every meal I ensured reached you when you forgot to eat. These were not merely professional duties." Jack stared at her, pieces clicking into place. The way she always seemed to be nearby when he needed medical attention. How she'd memorized his dietary preferences, the gentle scoldings when he pushed himself too hard during training. You've been trying to tell me something." "I have been showing you," she corrected gently. "Among my people, actions speak louder than words. But humans," her bioluminescence softened to warm gold. "Humans require words. So when you finally spoke them, When you acknowledged what I had been demonstrating, yes, I claimed you gladly. Jack should have felt trapped, should have felt panicked. Instead, a strange warmth bloomed in his chest. He thought about the past months, about Dr. Rowe's constant presence, her fierce protectiveness, the way she'd once threatened to sedate a superior officer who'd tried to send Jack back to duty before he was fully healed. "So what happens now?" he asked quietly. Dr. Rowe's smile was radiant, her skin shimmering with rose and gold. "Now you are mine, and I am yours. The bond is sacred among my people, permanent, unbreakable." She paused, and uncertainty flickered across her features. "Unless you truly wish to seek dissolution. It would bring great shame to both our houses, but if you do not desire this bond, I will not hold you against your will." Jack looked at her. Really looked at her. At the hope and fear warring in those opalescent eyes. At the vulnerability in her usually composed posture. He thought about his stupid joke about how words that meant nothing to him had meant everything to her. And he thought about how maybe they could mean everything to him too. "You know what?" He reached out, taking her luminescent hand in his. "I've heard worse ways to end up married. At least I know you'll keep me alive." The radiance that burst from her skin was blinding. "You accept the bond?" she breathed. "Yeah," Jack said, surprised by his own certainty. "I guess I do. Fair warning, though. Humans are terrible at reading unspoken signals. You're going to have to use your words with me." Dr. Rowe leaned forward, pressing her forehead to his in what he instinctively understood was a gesture of profound intimacy among her kind. "Then hear these words, Jack Arden," she whispered. "You're mine now, and I am yours, unto death and beyond." And for the first time since arriving on the Covenant's edge, Jack Arden felt like he'd finally found home.